I'm starting today's LEGO City update on the upper platform of the city because that's where I'm now placing all the buildings into their final positions, which for me unfortunately now means I have to start off with hours of tiling work I have condensed into a few seconds right there. For this edge I was using 45-degree angle cut tiles, and after 3 hours of constant tiling work my back honestly started to hurt a bit, and therefore I sort of cheated and prepared these 16 stud plates and then simply placed them into the city. And with that being done, it was time to place the buildings into their new and final positions. You might actually notice this blue building right there, which is in fact new. It's special because of the angle I've built it in. I'll show you that in just a second, but for now it's time to take a look behind this new row of houses I've built, because that's where I've now prepared 3 more modules in order to then extend the road towards the future bridge I'm planning on adding to my city. In order to save you all the repetitive work, I've once again also prepared this section of road I've added, and with that done, it was time to take a look on the other side of the street, because that's where obviously this row of houses at the back is going to continue. I was honestly quite hesitant about adding more original LEGO buildings to the city, but I've decided to add the 3 most important buildings that inspired most of my own creations in fact to the city. As you know, the rest of the buildings I've added to my city are completely designed and built by myself, but this building right there, which I'm adding right now, is in fact an original LEGO building, and I've decided to keep that in the city because of the inspiration these LEGO modular buildings had on my own creations. Back to adding details, and of course it's not only enough to simply add random minifigures, but first of all I've added this painter right there, then a little kid that was playing with his toy plane and unfortunately landed it in between the train tracks, then a man petting his dog, of course a fireman right there, and something you see every single day, 2 farmers fighting off a bear and keeping it away from their farm. Now time to look at this angled building I was talking about. I really now want to add an interior because I've only added this staircase so far. And first of all, it was of course time for the tiling to get rid of the studs. Then for this lower floor, I've decided to add a table. And unfortunately, because of the space this door takes up, I only had space left for a small kitchen in the other corner in the back right there. But that's the price you have to pay for having functional doors. On the upper floor, of course, the bedroom, and with that being done, it was time to reassemble the building. For the roof, I've decided to use a light bluish gray roof, which I've never done before, but it really fits this building. And something else you might be interested in, I've in fact ordered more of these gold ingots, they are called, in several different colors for other future buildings with the same building technique. Since we're already focusing on interior work, it's now finally time to work on this tram station right there. For the floor, I've decided to simply add a wooden floor, and then I've asked you in the comment section below what you exactly wanted me to add in this building, and most of you wanted me to add a souvenir shop, which is now why I've created these little postcard stands. You might know them from certain tourist destinations. This is always quite common in souvenir shops. And then on the other side of the building, actually on the exterior, as we place this building back into the city, this is now where you can buy tickets to go on a tram ride. I thought this might be a really interesting idea, not only having the opportunity to digitally buy your tickets, but for this little window right there on the bottom right corner, you can actually see the guy handing out tickets from inside the building. And I thought this was a really nice idea to have, especially since this is a more touristy area. And then I of course had to remove one of those flower pots, otherwise people wouldn't have been able to reach the tram line. And in order to immediately continue with your ideas, you wanted me to add an outside sitting area right in front of the restaurant I've added last video. Therefore, I've designed these tables, obviously sort of fitting to the style of the building itself. And then, of course, these parasols right there. Although my original design didn't really work because the top was a bit too heavy, then I redesigned it, chose a bit of a sturdier connection in order to actually get this angle in, because that's what you always find with parasols, that you can slightly tilt them. And I've then added 2 of these. Anything more would have been a bit too much if you ask me in this front area right there, but that really brings life into this section, especially as soon as you add, of course, a few minifigures. Now back to the upper platform and something I was talking about just a few minutes ago, that I actually want to add a bridge where the cars simply fall off at the moment right there. I was in fact already doing some research about certain types of bridges I want to add, and I decided that I want to have this sort of arched stone bridge, as you can see it right here in this example, as an extension simply on the exact same height as the rest of the road right there, just as you can see it in this example right here. For the tram, this now of course means that it's simply going to disappear in one of these arches of the bridge right there. probably the second one, I'd guess. But then in future, of course, I'm going to connect these two parts together, and then everything is one giant world, of course. Then on the upper platform, this is something else I wanted to show you. Unfortunately, I have this small gap remaining in between the modules, which is because of the tension of these large modules. What I'm now going to do is simply place more buildings on top of the transition, and then probably, although the solution isn't the best, it works, the gap then is hopefully at least closed. For this section in front of the restaurant, I've actually decided to connect the parasols to the ground because it's a bit sturdier this way. There you can see how I've actually done this. This is the stud beneath, and unfortunately I can only do this with larger parts which actually cover a lot of the surface area, because I always have to remove 2 of these tiles, which is also the reason why I won't be able to connect all the chairs and the tables. The way this small ticket or souvenir shop works is, if we take off the roof, you can see one guy working at the counter, and he's either working through the window if he's selling tickets, or otherwise he's simply turning around if somebody wants to buy anything from this small souvenir shop. Then this flower pot I've removed actually was the most important thing, otherwise the ticket store wouldn't have made any sense at all, because people wouldn't have been able to gather around here. This is something you commented, so of course I've also improved this. Let's next up continue on top of the Lego City. I've added a second railing at the staircase towards the wall because that was still missing, and then as I'm standing up and walking around, this is now, I think, the first time you can really get an idea of the amount of pieces I've used. What you can see right here is 3,000 2x2 tiles I've used in this update alone, which was a bit unfortunate because it only gave me about 15 seconds of video material in this update, but well, that's what I have to deal with. Next up, I was thinking about adding a sort of T-crossing with another road leading towards the wall and then theoretically going on, because, well, I have to step up on the Lego City once again for this. At the moment, the road, well, doesn't really make sense. It comes out of the tunnel at the very back, then goes around with this small curve right there. Then we have one siding where we only have parking lots, and then, well, this garage right there, and then the road simply continues right here. I think it would make so much sense to have another road going at least in this direction where the city would then theoretically continue, but you can leave your ideas in the comments for that. And then, in case you were wondering why I'm exactly adding an interior to these buildings even at the back of the city, and something else, why I'm not placing any street lanterns throughout the city, there's actually quite a good reason for that, because I want to add lighting across the entire city, and I'm not doing it myself, but my brother is doing it. He was already helping me preparing the day-night mode, and then next month he's supporting me with the YouTube channel and this whole museum project, and then working with me together in the city, doing all the lighting, the automation for the trains that they run by themselves, maybe adding 2 or 3 little parts in the city that are in fact moving and stuff like this. I'm really looking forward to that. Just wanted to give you an update when it comes to the lighting, because some of you know that I wanted to add this at some point in the future. And with that being said, that's it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you again in the next one.